Hello, hello. So now and then I actually stream games on Twitch, and I thought I would do a video about my setup for Twitch. And I actually use the same settings for when I record these videos for YouTube, almost. But right now I'm just focus on the Twitch part and the software I use for this. And I might do a more in-depth videos later on the separate software. Right now I'm just going to show you the softwares that I use and some minor settings that I have. And first of all, I have the Voicemeeter Banana mixer, which is completely free to use. And I also set that as a regular mixer for everything basically on my computer. And it will automatically start up, but you have to actually manually do that. Click on the menu here and you select System Tray, run at startup. So every time you start your computer, this mixer will start up. Otherwise you won't get any audio. And also hook volume key to the default output. And what I've done in the default in the Windows here, when you install the Banana Voicemeeter, you get these two things here. You get two channels, two outputs basically. And instead of having the speakers as default device, I select this Voicemeeter input as both default device and default communication device. And when I go to recording here, instead of having the regular microphone as a default device, I have the Voicemeeter OX output as default device. And I'll show you that later how that works or why I do this. Or basically I do it because I want to have the mixer controlling the microphone. So that's that. So that's the setup for that. And then I set up basically the output. This is the mechanical physical output from my computer. And the digital output that goes to my external sound system. And the second port is my speakers settings, which is referred actually to those are these devices. And when I listen to headphones, I have to do that through the speakers, so that's why I have it here. And those inputs are over here, so I can actually, when I want to just listen to headphones, I just turn it off and switch to A2. So that's that. So I got every input over here, and I got three sort of physical inputs, kind of, yeah, they're physical, but I have a sort of virtual sort of cable called virtual audio cable, which lets you have physical inputs, so to speak, but you understand later. Then I have my microphone, of course, here, and the desktop audio and music, Spotify, and I explained this, how I did this. And yeah, how I set up Discord, you see I have a virtual audio cable, and what you do is that you go to your user settings down here, and then to voice. So instead of having just a microphone over here, I actually use the Voicemeeter output. Remember that in Voicemeeter I have the microphone connected to the Voicemeeter, and that's what I also set up here in the recordings over here. That's what you select in the input as an input device. And output device, normally it goes to like default or your speakers, but I set it to the virtual audio cable, line 2. And that's what you see here. Then I just select that line 2 over here, so that I know that this is the Discord audio, and I can actually adjust that volume separately. I can just mute it, whatever. And desktop audio, yeah, that's basically the game audio. I can adjust the game audio separately. And then I have Spotify. And Spotify, normally you can't set the output sort of channel in Spotify. You can use a special plugin for it, but that plugin costs like was it $10? And what's called Equify or whatever it's called, and it costs $10. And I don't think it's worth $10 just to be able to select the output channel in Spotify. So I did it a different way. And what I did was, since I already own a VMware workstation, so what I did was to install Linux, Ubuntu, as a virtual machine. And in the settings for that virtual machine, I went to the sound card, and normally it's set to the use default host sound card. But actually over here in the drop-down menu, you can select which channel to send the virtual machine's audio to. And over here I just select the Voicemeeter OX input. And that actually refers to this Voicemeeter OX input. So the virtual machine is actually sending all its audio to this channel, which is perfect. So I can mute it here and I can set the volumes or whatever. It's just perfect. So that's the thing I did. That was my kind of little fix here. And now I can actually run Spotify on my virtual machine instead of the regular desktop. So yeah, that's how that works, and I will sort of go in depth later on in a different video. So that's the mixer, so everything goes in and out from here. And then I use AnkhBot, and this is a Twitch chat bot. And in here I got a bunch of commands for the chat, got sound effects and everything, and the point system. So that will be a video by itself. And also, for example, I actually forgot this one, Minecraft, when I played the game. Actually, do it like this, start up. And it's like this. And normally people actually run it in full screen. And for some reason, I see a lot of streamers set their aspect ratio completely wrong. So the game is actually cut off on the sides. And to be able to get the right or correct resolution for this, I actually use a special software called Sizer. And with this software, you can create different sort of profiles here. And you set the different resolution. For one is called Minecraft 720. And you can see the resolution for that window, and that will be the outside borders, not the game itself. It's the window sizer. So it's the outside borders, and that's why it's set to 1296 by 759, which is not really 720. But when I resize the window, the inside the game itself will be 720. So I will show you this. So what I do is that you place your mouse cursor like this. You get the two arrows. And then you right click here and you get this menu from the sizer. And you can select the profile that you want. And Minecraft 720. And it should actually center it like that. So now the game itself is now 1280 by 720, which is just perfect. So that's how I do that. And then, of course, another software that I use is actually the remote desktop software. And you can't really see everything here, but I use remote desktop to my notebook, and my notebook is actually running a Minecraft server. So when I play Minecraft, I play on my server. And this is just a control panel that I use, or actually made it myself. And what you can do here is very easily just whitelist people, change the game mode on players, change the game rules, add scoreboard. And then I have some plugins for the server. So I created tabs for those as well. I can move people between groups and stuff. And also add permission to different groups or permission to certain players. And can create more groups and stuff. But yeah, that's that. And what else? Well, of course, I have OBS. I know I had two distance here, or instances. That's because I'm actually recording with one of them, as you can see. But OBS, and I have, yeah, I might do a little bit more in depth how I actually set this up. I have two different profiles and two different scenes. So one for recording when I do this kind of recording, and also one for Twitch, because I use different settings for different things. And right now this is set to Twitch and the other one is set to recording. But it's easy just to switch between the profiles. And over here I have two scenes. I got the desktop and the Minecraft. And the canvas here is actually set to 1920 by 1080. And that's why, because I have the desktop when I record this, because if I set it to 720, the desktop will be cut off. But the game is 720, so normally when you add the game, it will be like this size, kind of small, so you have to, if I actually select the game here, you select to transform and just fit the screen, and it will fill out everything. And of course I got the Xbox dude here to the left. I call it Xbox dude because it's from my Xbox profile. And I got the BR back and Twitch alerts, or Streamlabs as it's called now. And I got 4 different audio channels here, and those are coming from the voice meter from this, except for the line 2 actually. So how I set this up, and while I'm here I noticed that some people using OBS Studio, the volume is quite low on the desktop, and sometimes also the mic. What you can do, you can see I manually set it to low. What you can do, even if you have it on max and if it's still low, you can actually click on the cogwheel here and you select filters. And you can actually right click over here and add a gain, which I done here, and you can actually boost that a lot. So if you know that you have a very low volume on your desktop audio, just add the gain filter and boost it up. The default setting is 0, so that's that. And you can do that for each one of these if you want to. The desktop 2 here is for actually my virtual machine. So, but otherwise in the settings, I'll set this up. I need some water. And general settings, I use the dark theme here. And that's all I do here in the stream. Of course, you need to place your Twitch stream key. Or if you stream to YouTube, it will be your YouTube stream key. And of course, if you stream to YouTube, you need to select that as well. But I use Twitch to stream to. And of course, you need to select the server, Twitch server. And I live in Sweden, and Sweden only have one server, so it works just fine. So no problems there. And the output, you have different tabs here. You have streaming, recording, and audio. And since this is the streaming profile, I have streaming here. And what I say, no, the default setting is set to simple, so I just select advanced here. And of course, the encoder is some people use QuickSync and NVENC, but I use the X264. And I use constant bitrate, CBR, and the bitrate to Twitch. This, of course, depends on your internet connection, your upload. So if you only have a 1 megabit upload, you can't really have a 3.5 megabit as I have here. You probably should have like half of your upload or 75% of your upload. So if you have a 1 megabit, you can have set it to like 500 or 750. Keyframe set to 2. And very fast default settings here, and the profile is high, set to high. And I also added these B frames here. This field is normally empty, but I added 2 B frames. Because very fast is actually set to 3 B frames by default. And then we go to the audio section here, and here I actually, instead of as normally people set it to like speakers, but I actually want to use my, let's see why I had it on input there. But I actually want to be able to use my mixer. And this is the voice meter mixer, of course. And that's why I have to select and remember the regular desktop audio. It's this voice meter input. That's what you set here as regular desktop audio. And the voice meter aux input, that's this one. And remember that my virtual machine is actually sending its audio to that. So this is basically my desktop audio, and this is my virtual machine audio. See it like that. So that's the Spotify music audio. So that's the second. So my virtual machine is my second desktop audio. And then we have the mic auxiliary, my regular mic. And remember, recording, I have this as default instead of microphone. So that's why I have here. And remember that my actually microphone is connected to this software. So the microphone is the voice meter as well. Microphone audio. And then I have the virtual audio cable as sort of a secondary line in here. And remember that I actually set the Discord to line 2 here. So that's why I select here as well. So now I got desktop audio, I got my Spotify music here, I got my microphone, and my Discord. And they are all in 4 different channels. So that's why I can adjust them separately. So if the streamers think that the music is too loud, I can just lower it separately without affecting the game audio or whatever. So that's just perfect. The audio and the video section here, I set, as I said before, the canvas. This canvas, and that's because I have the desktop set to 1080. And then I downscale it to 720 for Twitch, and I use the Lancos downscale filter here and 30 FPS. And when I go to hotkeys, the things I change here is the desktop here, this desktop scene. So if I want to switch to that scene, I can just press the page up key on my keyboard. And if I want to go back to the game, I just, on the Minecraft here, I just select page down here, switch to scene. So just page up and down, I switch between desktop and the game. Then I scroll down here and I have my mic, my main microphone. I set it to the numeric pad on my keyboard, the minus key. So that will be my mute and unmute key. And under advanced here, I let it be on Direct 3D 11 here. And it might say Direct 3D 12 if you have a little bit more newer video card. And the format, I select RGB and also 709. And that's all I change here. So that's my settings, and these basically are the same settings when I stream. The difference is when I record this video, for example. But then I go to recording settings and I set it up a little bit different, especially the bitrate is a lot higher. I set it to 24 megabit instead of 3.5. And I also record in 1080 instead of 720 and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's the settings that I use for Twitch, basically. And of course, normally you see that I have 2 OBS and one is actually recording. It's on a separate window, like over here. So, but yeah, that's how I have it, and you can do set it up differently. But the most important thing is the game itself, that I actually use this Sizer software. I can set it up very easily. And if I actually change it to Windows Default, and it didn't change, okay. But you get the point. And you saw the resolution was changing there as well. But yeah, that's how I actually use with the audio and everything with Spotify and the gaming. So see you later.